Armored Core Lore: The Story of Armored Core 3 Mobile. Armored Core 3 Mobile is said to be the bridge between Armored Core Nexus and Armored Core Last Raven, which we know is a year, EDO 260 to EDO 261. So where does this story fit in? In truth, the only way I can see this story unfolding is in the 6 months where the unknown weapons stopped bombarding the Earth. So what happened in these 6 months? After the bombardment of the unknown weapons stopped, the corporations of Mirage, Crest, and Kisaragi would still fight on along with smaller corporations now joining the fray. One of these being the Orion Corporation, who currently is testing a new AC pilot who has come to them to make a contract with them. After completing the test and passing, the new AC pilot would be welcomed into Orion's corporation as one of their Ravens. This new Raven would be introduced to Ord, Orion's head of operations. Ord would grant the Raven new parts to use as an Orion Raven, along with informing their new pilot that the corporation has only been able to survive this long because of the achievements of their veteran Raven, Vern Heisen. Quick note here, this Raven's name was also translated as Berner Heise. I mention this to cover all possible names for this Raven. Now back to the breakdown of the story. However, the Raven's arrival could not have been at a better time, as due to the balance maintained between the three big corporations and repeated clashes with the Navis Corporation, there has been an evident shortage of battle power within Orions. As such, the Raven will have to be their weapon on the battlefield in this war too. The Raven will then be sent off to attack an enemy base and take out their control device, with Vern as their backup. After this mission is done, the Raven is then told about Orion's plan, as the corporation has long been forced into a struggling state by the Big Three, Mirage, Crest, and Kisaragi. Which is why the corporation has started a forceful annexation of Navis Corporation assets, as a preliminary step to repel their forces. As part of this, the Orion Corporation forces will seize enemy supply facilities in order to neutralize Navis operations, a task that the Raven will do next with Vern Heisen leading the takeover force, while the Raven will go on ahead to destroy every energy tank in the G-Lance's supply depot facility first. After the takeover of the supply depot is complete, Ord once again updates the Raven that Vern Heisen's party has taken complete control over the G-Lance's supply depot. With this, Navis Corporation will have a hard time mobilizing their troops. Everything is going as the corporation predicted. The Raven's next mission comes from Crest rather than Orion's, as they have requested a reconnaissance mission of the underground transport route that serves as Mirage's tactical base. Ord explains to the Raven that Crest is attempting to make contact with all other factions to slow down the advance of Mirage, the biggest and most hostile corporation. As such, with this mission being granted to them, it means Orion has been chosen as one of those factions. Next for the Raven of Orion is a mission concerning a Dr. Gross, a Mirage-affiliated researcher that had asked Orion for asylum. However, Vern Heisen made an arbitrary decision to head off alone to secure the Doctor. The details of how he plans to do this are still uncertain to Ord, who expresses how Orion did want to avoid all matters pertaining to Mirage, but now they have no choice. As such, the corporation cannot afford to lose Vern Heisen, and so the Raven is sent to back him up by rushing to the neighbouring Raft Airport to hold off the enemy pursuers. It is during this mission, however, that Ord will report that Vern's AC goes down, and the Raven is ordered to return. The Raven's arrival back comes with grave news that Vern and Dr. Gross' whereabouts after the mission are unknown. It's feared they have fallen into Mirage's hands. However, Orion currently has two other parties searching for them, but while they do that, this Raven has a new mission, as a Navis Corporation-affiliated AC has been confirmed in the invasion of the Holm Plateau, the home base of Orion. Being the only one powerful enough to fight off this invader, the Raven is tasked with taking down this threat. Foyer would be the name of the invading AC pilot, who seems to mock the Raven's skills as a pilot, commenting how such poor piloting skills will never stop him. Yet the Raven does, with Foyer's last words being, "Wait," before their AC explodes. The Raven is then recovered, ready for their next mission. Ord comments how the last days of the enemy faction are coming to an end, with the annexation plan against the Navis Corporation entering its final phase. The Raven now has been assigned to take over one of the enemy's key facilities, named Zack's Supply Depot. However, this would not be easy, as the remaining forces of Navis are being redeployed around the base. Along with this tough mission, the Raven will learn Vern Heisen and the Doctor are still missing, with Ord hoping they will be found in time to use this mission's success as a welcoming home party. After taking over the Zack Depot, the Raven is then sent out on another mission straight away, as one of the teams searching for Vern and the Doctor has spotted suspicious movement at the Doctor's former research lab. Believing the pair might be there as hostages, the Raven is sent to infiltrate the facility and assess the situation. Ord mentions that the research facility has not been operational for years, but is still under Mirage's management, so the Raven is walking right into the belly of the beast. Not one to fear at such an idea, the Orion Raven heads to the research lab, only to be met by a hostile Vern, who has switched sides to Mirage, commenting how weaklings like Orion cannot stop the conflict that is happening. Ord replies that Mirage is Vern's answer. However, Vern does not answer as he battles with the Orion Raven to the death. Vern's final words being an apology for all the trouble he has caused. Ord is clearly upset by calling Vern an idiot for his actions, but knows this is the only way to have dealt with him betraying them. After the battle, an update comes in about what the Orion team found in the lab, with the discovery of secret communications between Vern Heisen and Mirage, along with the deceased body of Dr. Gross. Ord is quick to comment to the Raven after that I don't believe that domination through force can change a world of conflict. For now, all we can do is pray for them. This action, however, makes the tensions between Orion and Mirage only run deeper, as now the Orion firepower has decreased significantly. Things must be settled with the Navis Corporation before they resume their anti-Mirage campaign. The Raven's next mission is then given to them. Infiltrate the enemy's main base named the Creek, destroy the watchtower and capture the base. This is all-out war, Raven. While attacking the Creek base, the Navis forces will be reinforced by Mirage forces, making Ord wonder why Mirage would do this. Yet, the question would remain unanswered as the Raven takes over the base, leading to the Mirage forces to retreat while Orion's suppression squad moves into the Creek. With this action, Navis surrenders to Orion, yet the conflict Mirage now reaches its boiling point as Mirage demands Orion's unconditional surrender in exchange for their safety. The Orion Corporation is not one to back down, however, and so a rapid deployment into one of Mirage's facilities is decided to show the corporation will fight until the bitter end. Ord will also mention that Crest supplied intel to Orion about the facility they are attacking, yet even they are most likely to have an agenda, but for now their assistance is by no means a bad thing. This help proves useful, yet the Raven has little time to rest, as an investigation by the LaRue Research Institute has revealed part of Mirage's plan. An ultra-secret AI weapon was being developed under the leadership of Dr. Gross at the company. However, with the Doctor's death, a Nan named Shamron has taken over, and is now rapidly producing results. They say the weapon will be equal or even greater than AC's, since it won't require a pilot. It could become a formidable threat, but this weapon has brought humanity to the brink of existence before, a weapon patched together with unknown technology. To prevent this weapon from being used, Orion will attack the base where it is being made. Ord once again passes comment, this time on how Mirage's domination will not change the world for the better. As such, failure of this mission will not be tolerated. The only thing to note on this mission is the use of AC-sized green machines with glowing yellow blades and the use of energy weapons. Yet victory here comes at a price, as the Raven learns from Ord that while they were fighting, a huge Mirage force marched on the Orion's headquarters, forcing it to surrender. With Orion no more, they have lost their support. However, Ord will not simply let Mirage nor their AI weapon to continue on this rampage. So the next mission for the Raven comes not from Ord as Orion's head of operations, but from a fellow human. Break through the enemy defenses and infiltrate Mirage's central research facility named the Baltic Frontier Base. A solo attack is launched by the Raven, and their skills prove to be a match even for a Mirage AC named Avar, who asks the Raven if they think making Mirage their enemy is really a good idea. All talk and no bite, however, is what this Raven is, as Avar is killed by the Raven before they return for their final mission. Ord is the one issuing this mission, and they have this to say. We are about to infiltrate the Werner Laboratory, the key development center for AI weapons. We will destroy everything, including Shamron, the leader of this weapons development program, eradicating every last trace of it with our own hands. Prior to his death, Dr. Gross had already exposed Mirage's AI weapon development, and starting with Crest, this gave way to the anti-Mirage opposition by other factions. This will be our last mission. Make sure you come out of it alive. Entering the laboratory, the Raven is first attacked by an AC with a pilot named Burgas, who is quickly put down by the Raven. Only then for Shamron to attack in what can only be described as a pulverizer. A hard battle is fought between the two, with Shamron and his pulverizer being destroyed by the Raven, as Shamron's final words are, "My little one, I'm going to protect the world." This story ends with a news report which reads, Chief Researcher Suicide? FBC. At around 1900 hours today, at Mirage's Werner Technology Research Institute, the body of Mr. Shamron of the Technological Development Department was discovered. Mirage continues its investigation under the assumption that this was a suicide motivated by fear of the exposure of weapons development using prohibited technology. Within Mirage, AI weapons development by Shamron was treated as his personal decision, and attempts were made to resolve the matter internally. However, resistance from the anti-Mirage factions remains deeply rooted, and the company's influence has clearly declined. Meanwhile, corporation conflict centered on the three major powers, including Crest and Kisaragi, is becoming increasingly intense. Even the Ravens, once seen as symbols of freedom and independence as AC pilots, are now joining corporation affiliations in large numbers for the sake of survival, further escalating the fighting. This is the end of the story of Armored Core Mobile 3, but I know there are 3 more missions, and before I end this video, I will quickly cover them. First, the Raven will get a mission from Anne Worf from the Mirage Technological Department, who after hearing about the great achievements of this Raven, wants them to destroy as many of their test machines as possible within 3 minutes. After this mission is completed, nothing is further talked about it from Anne or anyone else. The second mission is from Guinness, from the Kisaragi Research Strategy Center, who wants the Raven to destroy the supplies of Mirage located in one of Mirage's storage bases. Again, after this mission, nothing else is said or mentioned. The third and final mission comes from Rachel, the Western Crest commander, who wants the Raven to aid them in taking over the now Mirage-occupied Creek base. Again, nothing really happens here on the mission or after. With this said, the story of Armored Core Mobile 3 really does end here.